I am Shari Humes, and I am your service assistant today. And our music ministry is very dynamic. Have you noticed? It's today we have a trio. We have Brent Storm and Kaden Schmidt and Cheryl Hodge. Yeah, should be a good time. And the message today is with Reverend Frank, and he'll come up and talk about it.
Good morning. The message today is called Unity, Liberty, and the Great Vitalization. So where did I come up with that? So that's part of the, once a year we get to go back to our founding peoples, our founding principles. I love 4th of July because it's fun to go back and look at it once again and say, how does this have to do with us today? And what's the spiritual principles interwoven into all of that, especially like founding documents and, for me, the Declaration of Independence. So once a year we get to play in that great field. And I have to say, this year I went back. I always go back, read the Declaration of Independence once again, and I saw some things in there I'd never seen before. So I'm kind of excited. We call it the Great Vitalization, or the Great bringing life forward into our consciousness and into our world. So we'll play with that a little today.
Okay, as we prepare now for our time of meditation, please hold the words of this wonderful music, this hymn, gently in your hearts.
I also want to welcome Kate Curtis, who is not on the program,
Kate,
but she's here, though, and I'm so grateful that you're here, Kate. We're going to feature her in this Daniel Nahmod song, When I Pray. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray.
Together, we set the intention that we hold the people and concerns of our hearts with love, and affirm in prayer that their highest and best good is in motion. And our prayer begins with part of the poem, I Am There, by James Dillett Freeman, a beloved poet and minister of Unity Church. Let us begin prayer by including anyone that you would like to include, and feel free to say their name aloud. And now, as we gather take these words and feel the calm strength of truth. When you need me, I am there. Even if you deny me, I am there. Even when you feel most alone, I am there. Even in your fears, I am there. Even in your pain, I am there. I am there when you pray and when you do not pray. I am in you, and you are in me. I'll read it one more time. When you need me, I am there. Even if you deny me, I am there. Even when you feel most alone, I am there. Even in your fears, I am there. Even in your pain, I am there. I am there when you pray and when you do not pray. I am in you, and you are in me. Now we shift into a time of restorative meditation. Begin by taking a few long, slow, deep breaths. With each breath, your body accepts relaxation. As you breathe, feel, listen, center, and ground. Here are a few prompts for you to explore. As I say each, bring them into yourself and see if this is something you would like to explore further. But do that through your breath. So breathe in. I am one with Spirit Divine. Breathe in. I am an expression of the essence of God. Breathe in. Each day, I awaken to greater love and peace. Breathe in. I am an expression of the essence of goodness. Breathe in. I freely open to deeper spirituality. For the next few minutes of quiet, let your breath guide you and see where you go.
Love is an ocean. It rolls through unnoticed, yet there you are, consumed by the tide of fate, yet aware of elation. Who knows how wind blows? It takes us some paths we've yet to find. You can't fight the tide of fate, unaware of illusion. Love is so big, love is blue, love is ancient, love is new. Love is so big, love is blue, love is ancient, love is new. Oh, love surprises you, and love sneaks up on you. Love is new, love is blue, love is false, love is true.
I'm trying to remember to do this, but before I say anything, like, where'd it come from? Like, what's the sources for today? 'Cause I'm not usually making stuff up wholesale. It's synthesizing. The joy is the unity piece, bringing it together, doing the synthesis of things. I mentioned that I love on 4th of July, one of the things I do is go back and read the Declaration of Independence. Now, disclaimer from the very start, we all know, as brilliant as it was, we know who Thomas Jefferson was, slaveholder. We know all that. And I can't ignore that. Mark Nepo, we went on a retreat with Mark Nepo a few weeks ago in Charleston. Diane and I were there. He's this poet, many of you probably know him. And someone asked Mark, are we progressing? He said, oh yeah, we are, as humanity, we're progressing. And also we're incarnating. We're doing our human thing. And you know what that's like. It can be messy. So can we see two things true at the same time? That there's even very imperfect people can say very profound and live through very profound insights. Who does that remind you of? All of us? Maybe? Yeah. So the reference today is the Declaration again, and some of the writings of George Washington. So what I like to do is dance into some of the unity material and find out how that all resonates with unity teachers. And I traced down a lot of the unity teachings and compared to the Declaration and ended up with Thomas Aquinas, the mystic from the 13th century. Oh yeah. Okay, here's the dance. You ready? Here's how we put it together. There's this deep sense in unity, and it's true through the mystics, through the ages, that the idea for our lives is to first align ourselves with the divine energy, source will, source mind, divine presence, the eternal truth, and to find a way to take that that's eternal and always true, and then apply it into our lives as best we can. Versus the idea of, well, I'll just live my life based on what I think, based on my ego, is my way of survival, of dominating, of working out of fear and lack consciousness. And how do I live my life from this level? It's kind of that sense of even Jesus saying, it's not about my will from my ego perspective. It's how do I let my idea of what's mine to do start with the divine idea of what's mine to do. This is Jesus, this is Thomas Aquinas, this is the mystics throughout this is unity. Aligning what's mine to do with what I understand the divine to do. One way I reference Aquinas, but there's another word that many of the founders, especially George Washington, used. He called it providence. And if you look at the writings of George Washington, a founder in the United States, he constantly talks about, what does providence ask me to do? What do I see as the highest purpose? And how can I trust that I'm living through that higher purpose in what I decide to do with my life? And trying to find some kind of sense, am I resonating? What can I hear? What can I know to ensure myself that what I'm doing is indeed aligned with what God wants me to be doing? He didn't say God. He tended to use words like what providence wants me to do. Synonymous. We do this in unity a lot, that the words we use like life, wisdom, love, we don't say the light of God, the love of God. We just say love, and that is the divine. Life, that is the divine. Not the life of God, or God gives us life, but we see them as the one that it's synonymous with the divine. It's a thing we can understand about the divine energy that comes through and lives as us, through us, with us. Not different than us, this oneness consciousness that we live. And for Washington, a founder, that was providence. One of the best stories is after a battle, 2 horses shot out from under him. He ended up on his feet. And when he looked at his coat, he had 4 bullet holes in him. And he was fine. He goes, providence, guess I'm on the right path. Hopefully we don't have to go through that to know we're aligned with the divine mind. Yeah. So I looked back, and by the way, right now there is a class going on for the chaplains. We try to do this once a year. There's 10 people in the chaplains class right now. And so you understand the way that we pray, we suggest, we offer a way to pray that's a new thought way. You see this in new thought traditions of unity and CSL and the various new thought traditions. It's sort of goes like this. It's not so much a formula, but it's a suggested way of different energies that we can align with. And the first one is we open. We open. And we do this all the time. The normal way we open is we say, okay, let's just take a minute and take a breath. Open our hearts, open ourselves, open our beings. That's the first part of any prayer. Just open. Quiet. Silence. Listen. Open. And the second thing in this form is recognize the attributes of God that are true. For Washington, providence. For Jefferson, holding truths to be self-evident. Self-evident. This is. It just is. Life. Liberty. Joy. It is. It's not a thing of God's given to. It just is. Life. Yeah. These things. God is. And then, therefore, we are expressions of that one. So if we could say there's this source is life, source is love, then what am I? I am life. I am love. I am liberty. I am freedom. I am that attribute of God expressed through me, through my individuality, in the way that I can express it. That's aligning myself with this divine principle so that I can express it in the way I can express that thing. So I am life. I am liberty. I am peace. I am joy. I am love. It kind of gives you chill bumps. I am? You sure? Yeah. Yeah, I am that. And because I am that also, that attribute of God is alive and flows through me, in me, as me, then what can I do? What can I say? How do I show up? How do I think? How do I be? How do I declare? How do I commit in compassion? How do I show up in love? How do I show up in this being? So I open, God is, I am, and then the fourth part, I show up. I can, I do, I express. This is what my nature is. And then the fifth one, of course, you end the prayer with, so I got a new click in consciousness. I'm seeing it now. I'm seeing what's mine to do. And I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that consciousness of my I am and what's mine to do. And this gets very this is empowering. So I went back and I said, now the Declaration of Independence, right? By the way, we were using this book, Discover Your Divinity, Linda Martelt-Whitsitt and Dan Ware-Morrissey. It's been our guide for the chaplains this time around. We have more copies, anyone interested in prayer and prayer process. So I went back and looked at the Declaration of Independence. This was fun. And Jefferson, he was what they call a deist. If there's a God, I don't know. But whatever the God is, gave us some principles and said, you do it. You do it. And here, just find the principle and live by it. So God is, we open. So here's the second part of the prayer. God is. There's nature, and there's nature's God. And within this nature's God, there is self-evident. It just is these powerful truths. All people are created equal. It's like a divine truth. Everybody created equal. And sometimes I think about that. We think about it like human rights. We're all equal to have human rights. But dig a little deeper. Is this what Jefferson meant? I don't know, but I can't get in his head. But dig a little deeper. We're all equal. We're all, when we go into the depth of our being, into that place of oneness, that place of being, when life passes through and I see these different expressions of life, but in all places, no matter what I see, the truth, the eternal truth is just being, awareness in itself. In my awareness and your awareness and the awareness of the universe is just awareness. It's the same. And from my awareness, I have all these experiences, these expressions, and these lives, and these stories, and these events, and there's all this stuff that happens. I go here, I could tell all the stories. But in the bottom of it, there's just pure being, pure awareness, pure consciousness. And what's that I notice is the same in you. All people are created equal. I would say the whole universe is created equal. Consciousness is consciousness. Being is a being. Awareness is awareness. Oneness is one. Wholeness is wholeness. And from that very place, we're all resonating at the same place, but expressing it differently as each one of us individually expresses it. And there's the play. There's the act. There's the drama. There's the joy. There's the expression. There's the dance. Why did God make it that way? Because the divine wanted to. Because no one person can express the fullness of all that there is. This great playground of consciousness, this play, this joy, it's all expressed in all of us, in all the world, in all the different expressions. But we're all created equal in that we all have the source of the oneness is the same source of all of us. I am. So it's this first thing, this first God is, and then the next part, I am. And so each of us are endowed with our Creator with certain inalienable rights, among them life, liberty, and the pursuit of our joy, pursuit of happiness. Or we might say the eternal principle of joy. So God is this one truth, and each of us, I am, are an expression of that truth. Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm making the Declaration of Independence a 5-step prayer practice. You get where I'm going with this, right? Not sure that's what Jefferson meant, but, we'll play. We'll play. Yeah, who knows? Evolution, man. It just keeps going. And the final part is, God is, I am. So what am I going to do? I think, I act, I do. And so they said, and for the support of this declaration, with a firm reliance on the protection of providence, there it is again, the protection of, we are saying, we know we are aligned with that. That's what they meant by providence. There is this whole divine essence, and I am expressing it. And when I'm aligned with it, things will outpicture in a beautiful way, in ways we may not even know, in ways we may not even express, in ways that will surprise us. But if we're sure we're aligned with providence, I'm aligned with it, and I express it, and stand back and watch what happens. Yeah. Watch what happens. With a firm reliance on the protection of providence, we pledge our lives and we pledge our fortunes. We pledge ourselves to each other to live this life in a new manifestation of a way we the people can work together and govern ourselves together and outpicture together in a new form. And that, I think, is so cool. And is it working out? Yeah. Is it messy? Oh, yeah. Is it the divine energy showing up as me and as you and as us in this adventure to express it in a new way? Well, yeah. And we can keep aligning with that and keep trusting that. But the key is, in all these things, providence, this prayer for providence, this identification of the divine with providence says that what we're going to choose to do is going to align with that higher divine vision. And so where do we go to know what the higher divine vision is? I'll give you 3 ideas. Scripture, nature, and your heart. Scripture, nature, and your heart. And neither scripture, nor nature, nor my heart says it's based on greed, it's based on selfishness, it's based on I'll get mine and too bad for you. The Beatitudes doesn't say I get mine and you get yours. It's blessed are the humble, blessed are the meek, blessed are those who have so much compassion that they see the pain in the world and they mourn and they grieve it. And they're not so much trying to get everything for themselves, but they say, blessed are the poor in spirit, those who say, I am about humility that is in service, not in get everything for myself. Frank, if it applies, let it apply. There's these myths. And even nature teaches the great lesson, the great harmonization, the way things just flow and work together. And I was hoping that we were here Friday night and these owls just hatched and they seem to be hanging out right over here. Any owls? You see any yet? Keep looking. I was hoping they'd show up today. I say they're babies. They're like this big now when they fly. But they're not like mom, you know. Yeah. This divine harmony that flows through, aligning with this higher division is the providence. I love this discussion. It's like, because you hear this discussion, what were we founded on? What were the principles we're founded on? I'd love to go back and go, what were they? And I don't want to force unity thinking onto these 17th century Enlightenment people. That would be totally unfair. But it's interesting to me how these deep principles of aligning with the higher power and then acting that in our life seems to be a guiding principle over and over. So I'm going to end with, I'm going to end early so quickly because we have a potluck. And I think some people have already moved out there and are cooking hamburgers as we speak. Yeah. So let me end on a prayer, and we'll use this. And so listen to this process that we're talking about. This is a process that the chaplains are practicing. It's a suggested way of considering how to let our prayers flow out, how to find the God is, and then claim the I am, and then let it flow out into what I think, what I do, what I pray, how I act, how I show up, and then ending in silence. So listen for that process. And I suggest that allow my words to be your words, and allow this form that I see actually somewhat right there in the founding documents of our country. This call to providence, this call to connection. Let me just see how this prayer might fit for you. So if you feel comfortable, close your eyes and take that breath. I should say feel that breath. You don't have to take anything. It's there. Your breath is always available. It's as close to you as closing your eyes and letting it be. Not a taking, not a grasping, but an awareness. In awareness, your heart is pumping. Your breath is flowing. The world is spinning on its axis. The sky is blue and the trees are working and all is in harmony. Just be in that presence. Be in that energy. Open. Not going anywhere, just opening to the very presence that's here for us. Knowing the truth of this one divine life, this one divine freedom, this immensity of sacred joy. We open to divine wisdom and understanding for guidance. We open to strength, this divine energy, this divine strength that gives us the energy to do the next right thing that's ours to do. When we sit in that energy of the divine, that divine love, that divine harmonization, when we sit in that energy, we know that same energy that we relate to, that we can feel, that we can be in the resonance of. Therefore, it is the nature of our being to express life, to express liberty, to express joy, to express freedom. I am that energy of freedom. I am that energy of life. I am that energy of love to express. I am that wisdom. It is here and available to me. Let these words be your words. I am wisdom. I am understanding of what's mine to do. I am in resonance with this truth. This I am consciousness resonates with this truth of our wholeness, of our oneness, of our interconnectedness. That is the truth of my soul, the truth of my nature, the truth of me as a divine expression of the one. And so going forward on this year, on this celebration of our 250th anniversary with these sacred principles that we've we've worked on, we've stumbled through, we've experimented with, that we've gotten right and we've missed the mark and we've gotten right, and we go forward and we commit ourselves once again to providence in the sense that we align with the divine will, and we in turn express that life and love in the best possible ways. What's ours to do going forward for our lives, for our country, for this experiment of the United States. We're born here. This is where we are. This is mine. This is ours to express. I can go forward in all ways in humility to find new ways of expressing this freedom of life, of freedom for all people, knowing the oneness and the truth of the connectedness of all people, knowing the sacred value of not only all people, but all of our country, all of our earth, all of this planet. Knowing life and love, which means harmony, which means a connection, a balancing of the good for all involved. I see that. I can live that. And what's good for me is what's good for the all. And what's good for the all supports me in this beautiful dance of profound interrelationship of the good. We can bless our country and know that I am here to be of service to the highest and best, to the greatest visions of all that it can be in oneness and wholeness and balance and harmony and life and love. We go forward to express that in this anniversary of our country. 250 years of expression, of trying, of experimenting, of going forth. And in all the ways that we just really nail it, and in all the ways we miss it. In humility, we stand up with the energy and the strength of the divine and say, we will try anew. We will express anew. We will love anew. We will express life, liberty, and joy in new ways. We can pledge our sacred honor, our sacred selves, our sacred lives, our fortunes. We can pledge it all to a new way of expressing as best we can through the tools we have, through the consciousness we have, for the good of this experiment, for the good of the all, for the good of the expression of the divine, the expression of God in new and profound and surprising and loving ways. Just like the founders, this experiment goes on. We commit ourselves to that, and we move forward with the love, divine love. It expresses in me, through me, as us, as the United States. And we go forward in peace, peace for this world, peace for our planet. We are so grateful for this opportunity to show up at this time, in this place, in this country, to do what's ours to do, to continue this expression, this great expression. And so it is. Yeah. Amen.
This next song is a song that I wrote called I'm Learning Love. I've only done it once, I think, here before. And so as you hear the chorus go by, if you care to join in, it's not too hard. I'm learning love, I'm learning love, I'm learning love today. So when it comes around, that's what we're doing. We're going to start out with it, in fact. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grateful for the highest good. I'm grateful for the love we share. There's also many ways to say I'm learning love today. Our spirits shine just like the sun. There's plenty of love for everyone. There's also many ways to say we're learning love today. Say it loud. Learning love. I'm learning love. I'm learning love. I'm learning love today. Again, I'm learning grateful for the earth and sky. We'll see our spirits by and by. There's oh so many ways to say we're learning love today. We're holding hands, we feel the strength. Our spirits never ever sink. There's oh so many ways to say we're learning love today. Come on now. I'm learning love. I'm learning love. I'm learning love. I'm learning love today. How about we're learning? We're learning love. We're learning love. We're learning love. We're learning love today. Come on, Kaden. Here I go now. That's Kaden Schmidt. We got Brent Storms on drums. We're learning love. Let's sing it. We're learning love. We're learning love. We're learning love. We're learning love today. One more time. We're learning love. Woo-hoo. We're learning love. We're learning love. We're learning love today. This is Caden's last time to be playing with us, sadly, because he's off to bigger and better adventures. He's graduated this year from high school, or high school. Yeah, I know, I want to say college because he's like, you know, so far ahead of me in so many ways. Kaden Schmidt, please give him a very big thank you for his playing. Where are you going, Kaden? What, you're going to college, right? Where is it going to be? Northwestern University. All right. In Toronto? Oh, Chicago.
Chicago.
Northwestern in Chicago. Got you.
Yeah.
Isn't that Northeastern?
Okay.
That's Northwestern.
He's going to be a
Okay.
Cubs fan then, right there by Wrigley.
Northwestern in
yeah.
Chicago. Good luck, Kaden.
Thank
we
you,
love
Kaden. Yeah.
Be thinking of you.
Yeah. Wow. Blessings, Kaden. So we have a few announcements. By the way, you might have noticed we have a new Ask Me desk in the front, and Kate was staffing that this morning. And as you leave, do you want to say something about the Ask Me desk? You'll see there's lots of clipboards, a lot of materials, and there's going to be someone there when you come in and when you leave. So that if you have any questions, comments, recommendations, thoughts, want to know what's going on, you need something, you have a comment, you can check on the Ask Me desk on your way out and hopefully get what you need, or at least pass it on. Yeah? Okay. And also, let me see. So on Don Miguel Luis is coming in about 6 weeks on August, I don't write it down, 7th. So that's not too far away. So we've sold some tickets, I don't know how many, but so here's the idea. Do you guys know Don Miguel Luis Jr., the 4 agreements? That was his dad, and now the family and the son and the daughter, they're writing books, and they're still carrying on that tradition of the 4 agreements. And he's going to be here at Unity. Not only is it going to be a great night, because I've heard him speak before, he's got his new book, The Poison Arrow, that he's going to be talking about, and he'll be talking about the 4 agreements and other things. But this is going to be a great event. Mm-hmm. And also, it's a great fundraiser for us. So the idea is not only come, but bring somebody. It's a great way to introduce them to this teaching and to introduce them to Unity. And it's going to be a great Friday night out. So please be sure to get your tickets. Use, like always, get them online through Unity and through our website. There's also going to be, let me see, next Sunday, right after service, grab a piece of whatever, cake or something, and the board is going to do a quick update, sort of like a quarterly update of what's been going on. And with Janae's retirement, you're probably going, well, what's happening now? So we want to give everybody an update of some of the changes, where we're going, some of the things the board's been working on. So not to be missed, we'll hope to keep it fairly short, like in the time you can drink a cup of coffee. But please be sure to stay around next Sunday right after for like a quarterly board update on sort of the state of things and what's happening. Let me see, what else? We also, especially now, we've got some social media things we want to do. And we've had different people over the years help us with social media. If you like social media, if you're like, ooh, I just love to go on Facebook and do things and post and stuff, I'm looking around to see if anybody gets excited. But we really want to up our presence on social media. If you want to be or interested in supporting us with your skills at social media, let me know, or let Janae know before she goes, or probably let me know, because you don't have much time for Janae to let her know.
We're going to have fun. You all know, I'm sure, most of you. Over the last many years, Unity has had very successful fundraising via the New to You sale. What we also know is it's an enormous amount of work. I was the chairman of the New to You sale 2 years, and it's an unbelievable amount of work. So Reverend Frank and I talked this week, and we're going to try something a little different. The New to You sale has now been renamed the Treasures in Your Trunk. And we're going to steal the idea from many people all around the country at this point who are doing yard sales in a little different fashion. We are going to rent out 25-ish, maybe 30 parking spaces in front of the church for $25 each. So that money comes to the church. And any members who decide that they want to sell things out of their car in those slots, feel free to donate whatever proceeds you want to at that point. We're also going to advertise throughout the community those spots. So they're great for apartment dwellers who can't have yard sales. Anybody who's in a situation where a yard sale is just impossible for them, they could come, bring their car, pop open their trunk, and sell their stuff. So we're doing this on August 22nd, and we need a lot of volunteers for a short period of time. So we probably need just about everybody in one way or another. And on that note, we do have a sign-out sheet out there, but we are specifically, to get started, looking for that person who can help us advertise. We need to get out into social media a lot. The Bellingham groups on Facebook, Reddit, whatever is appropriate. I've been away from Bellingham for a while, so I don't know the best way to advertise a yard sale anywhere, but we need that. We need flyers. We need all kinds of stuff. So we really need a couple of people to come forward and to help us with that. There's going to be a setup group of people. We're going to need people in the parking lot to help tell people where they can park. We would love to sell hot dogs and burgers, make a little money that way. Baking sale as well. Greeters, hosts, walk around with your Unity t-shirt on if you've got one and just say, welcome, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We're glad you're here. And then, of course, there will be cleanup at the end. Our hope is that, given that people are not bringing their things into the church for us to set up on tables and pricing and all of that. And then at the end, they're taking away stuff that doesn't sell, that this becomes a much friendlier gig for us at Unity. So if you have any questions, I'm going to be here. You can ask Frank as well. We're looking for people who are going to be on board with this. How will it look? I don't. Okay. Well, the pictures just look like a lot of people having a lot of fun is what the pictures look like. But yeah, I mean, we found a site online where, you know, people were doing this. And of course, then the community comes because it's a yard sale and everybody loves a yard sale. And so there are pictures that we saw of these events. There's a massive amount of people. So yeah, we'll need signage. So what I'm hoping it will look like is all the slots in front of the church will have a car in them with the trunk popped open. And there's enough room in between the two lines of parking that I think people can bring tables and set up and sell as much stuff as you want, you know, whatever you want to get rid of. Then the larger parking area over this way will be designated for all the people coming, the retail part of it, the people who are coming to buy. We were also talking about the possibility of maybe having a little petting zoo, maybe if the ponies can come back, games out in the yard out here, whatever we can come up with to make that day fun and involve the community. We're looking for some significant community involvement here as well. So what am I missing, Frank? Anything? Okay, that's it for the moment. I'm just going to put myself over here and come talk to me. And in the meantime, collect all the stuff that you would normally be giving away to Goodwill, and maybe we can benefit from it here at our sale. Okay, that's it for now. You'll be hearing more.